This is Kanashi Abominito. Glad to be here on another one of these BS Busters.
Glad to have you. This is Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor BS Busters. Thank you for joining us. So I guess we have to ask the most important question: what you been playing?
I haven't really been playing much of anything the last few days. So,
All right, all right. I've
really
been getting back into playing retro games. So I've just been playing a lot of old shit. Like I'll play some new shit and then I'll get back to playing old shit because that's just how I roll. I don't play a lot of new shit. I play a lot of old shit, and I'm okay with that.
yeah.
Some people they don't. They're like, no, I want to play new shit all the time, and new shit is fine. But I mean, old shit is timed and is tested and has been tested and is you know primed and everything like that. You know what you're gonna get with old shit all the time.
Yeah.
So I've started a Skyrim, a heavily modded Skyrim playthrough because I like playing heavily modded Skyrim.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. I just for some reason really like playing heavily modded Skyrim. That's my jam. You know, the more heavily modded Skyrim is, the happier I am. I like playing heavily modded games like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, um, so tonight's topics, we're running a little late because I mean, you gotta mix it up sometimes. So we're covering licensed games that didn't suck, and then we're gonna cover, uh, and then we're gonna roll into free topic and then unpopular opinion. So with that being said, let's get into the first bit: licensed games that didn't suck or slash don't suck, because there are some current licensed games that are pretty fairly decent. So without much ado, do you want to go first or shall I?
You can go first.
All right. So as we all know, licensed games have been a thing for a very long time. Shit, there was a Kool-Aid game on the Atari, a Kool-Aid Man game, which is weird. Um, but there's also been some good licensed games. Now, to be fair, for a long time, for an example, license like Marvel licensed a lot of their games, those Spider-Man games, and a lot of those Spider-Man games were shit. They weren't good. All right, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. A lot of those Spider-Man games were pretty goddamn bad. But as time went on, they got better.
Yeah.
Okay, I would say that the Spider-Man games started getting good once the fifth gen came, and we got like Spider-Man on the N64, PlayStation, PS1, PlayStation, and Saturn, and the Dreamcast, and the PC. And that game was published by Activision, but it was like there was like every single console had its own version, and that game was different on every console, but there were some similar things. So I mean, the point being is that licensed games have had a kind of a up and down. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. It can go either way type of history, if you will. So with that being said, there's some good ones. There's some good ones. I would say that the Lego games are pretty goddamn good. I would say Lego Marvel is pretty goddamn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first Lego Marvel's amazing. Um, the sequel not as good, um, but the first one's pretty goddamn good. Um, Even Lego City Undercover is pretty good. And some people are gonna get mad about that because, you know, heaven forbid you play a Lego game. The only downside with the Lego games is because they're designed to be easy to jump into, you don't really get any real complex mechanics with a Lego title. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's very like it's very basic bitch. Um, it's very basic bitch type of RPG. If you get my drift, I mean
Yeah.
gaming. Like you're not gonna get like you're not gonna get a lot of different shit going on in a game like that, which is kind of like the that's kind of the flaw of those types of games is that they are very like basic bitch type of you know.
The Star Wars Lego games.
The old ones were. The new ones where they like made a new engine and everything for it. But I mean, I didn't play the new one where they made a new engine for it because I was like, oh, they're including the sequel trilogy with this, and I don't like the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. Like, I don't want to play as Rey. Like, I hate played through because I liked the Lego Star Wars game so much that I hate played through the prequels. And believe me, like when I was in the cantina and I finally unlocked like Jedi, I mean Sith Lords, I would go around and I would find Jar Jar Binks and murder the shit out of him because I hated him that much as a character.
Yeah.
Because no one likes Jar Jar Binks. No one was watching the Phantom Menace was like, yeah, Jar Jar Binks makes this whole he ties everything together. Only
Yeah.
George Lucas thought some shit like that. George Lucas is like, yeah, he ties everything together. I'm like, George, come on, man. You know good and hell well no one gives a shit about Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
I'm like, no one cares about Jar Jar Binks. No one likes that character. You know,
Yeah.
like if you were of the age where your parents were buying you Star Wars toys when the Phantom Menace and all those movies were coming out, no one wanted Jar Jar Binks the action figure. That's all I'm saying. People wanted the hero characters. They wanted Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon, you know, the villain characters, Darth Maul, who went out like a bitch in that first movie, and then they had to retroactively make him into a badass. But in Phantom Menace, he went out like a bitch. They're like, oh, he's badass. I'm like, is he though? Because I mean, once his lightsaber got cut in half, he was like, fuck. Uh, wow, I was doing well until they cut my lightsaber in half. It's like that's all you got to do for those double-ended lightsaber dudes. Just cut it in half, and then they're fucked. Apparently,
Yeah.
yeah, it's shit like that where I'm just like, come on, bruh. But anyway, yeah. So that's where I am right now. I'm just like, look, um, they need to do better.
Yeah.
Um, and it used to be better. Like that's the sad thing about licensed games is that like people are like saying, well, and this is going to lead into something. It's not just me just saying shit. This is a segue. Like for example, right? Like everyone's like, oh, the Thunderbolts didn't do well and Superman underperformed. I guarantee that if you had like a video game tie-in or some form of secondary, tertiary marketing aside from popcorn buckets for these movies, you probably would have had a bit more of a bump in people buying this shit.
Yeah.
Like if there was a Superman video game, and it didn't even like here's the thing, it didn't like if y'all had a new Lego DC out, that would have been helpful.
Yeah.
You know, if they had a Lego Thunderbolts, or hell, even just a Thunderbolts beat 'em up. It didn't even have to be AAA. It could have been like AA or single A. But they don't even do that these days. Everything is so much like no one really wants to do anything really interesting or no one wants to take a chance. And I know game development is expensive, but these people knew this shit was happening. Like people knew the Thunderbolts was being made 3, 4, 5 years ago. So why didn't they just fucking, release some new shit?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But, that's my own personal opinion. I could be wrong. But I mean, okay, we have the new, we have the spiritual successor to Captain America and the Avengers and shit like that, in the form of this new game from Dot Emu. The same people behind Shredder's Revenge, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, stuff like that. Where it's like, okay, this game it apparently has 15 playable characters, and they're all Marvel characters. I'm like, why isn't DC doing this shit? Like, fans are making beat 'em ups like this, and beat 'em ups aren't resource intensive to make. Not nearly as resource intensive to make as, say, you know, more traditional RPGs.
Yeah.
But what do I know? I'm just some guy. I'm just some guy. What are your thoughts on it? Are there any?
Dark clouds gather.
Are
Any
there
licensed games?
any licensed games where you're like, wow, this shit needs to?
Well, there was the Tiny Toons games for Super Nintendo. That was pretty decent.
Those were
Uh,
pretty decent. You're right.
and then let's see. Not just that, there's also I think what else? I like at least at the time, I liked the Star Wars game that came out for the PS2. Is for the No, it came out for the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. It was for the the last movie in the trilogy. That was I thought that was a halfway decent game.
What movie in which trilogy?
The the prequel trilogy.
Oh, you mean Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah,
Yeah, I like those Star Wars games, like the ones based on the movies. Kind of like for you, I think like for me, the generation of those games were the Super Star Wars games for me. Although the first Super Star Wars, the difficulty was kind of like a little rough. That second Super Star Wars, Super Empire Strikes Back, oh god, that game is fucking hard. I don't think I've anyone says they beat that game, I'm like, I don't believe you. Most people
yeah,
can't get beyond the first level. Or the first area. They fight the ice wampa, and they're like, shit. This boss is so hard. Super Return of the Jedi is better though.
yeah,
So I don't know, man. My personal belief, this is my own personal thing. I think that I think that the Star Wars games have been very hit or miss. Like when you had studios who gave a fuck about the IP, you got great games like Rogue Squadron. Rogue Squadron 1 and 2, two of the best Star Wars flight arcadey flight games I've ever played. Like way better. Rogue Squadron 3 added platforming to it and I'm like, this didn't need this. Like stay in vehicles, like only in vehicles. And then EA tried to make their own Rogue Squadron, which was shit. It's like it's got the name Rogue Squadron, but it's kind of shit.
yeah,
But I mean, like I said, the thing about Star Wars, like I said, is that Star Wars is really all about like I mean, just like everything else, it depends on which studio made it. If they're being cheap and they're just throwing some shit together, you get trash. If
yeah,
someone's putting effort into it, you get some good shit. Just like Indiana Jones, like some Indiana Jones games are great, some are shit. It depends on who the studio is behind it.
yeah,
Although I'm a Indiana Jones stan, so as long as I hear the dun 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 dun, I'm like, oh shit, it's off to adventure. You know,
yeah,
of course. Of course, the greatest. Of course, we all know the greatest. One of the greatest fifth gen licensed games of all time, GoldenEye. Did people forget GoldenEye?
yeah,
Yeah, GoldenEye. I mean, it's James Bond. I mean, the name's Bond. James Bond. Of course, like what Rare wanted to do versus what we got. Like they wanted to do a James Bond game where you could choose your own Bond. So you could be Roger Moore, you could be Sean Connery, you could be Timothy Dalton, you could be what's his name? Shit. Pierce Brosnan. I'm like, wow, that would be my ideal James Bond, where you can be your James Bond that you want to be. Except George Lazenby, because fuck George Lazenby. No one cares about George Lazenby.
yeah,
It's like I was James Bond. Yeah, you were for one movie. You were so shitty that they brought back Sean Connery. Anyway, so yeah, yeah. So some licensed games are good, some are bad. It all boils down to which studio is behind it. Personally, and I'm hoping things get better. I want to see more beat 'em ups. Um, like I saw that shit where what did they do? They made fucking James Bond not James Bond. They made yeah, they're doing IO Interactive is doing a new James Bond, but they're going, "Oh, this is young James Bond." I'm like, "You do realize that James Bond didn't become a double O agent until he was in his like 30s, right?"
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Like he was a commander in the Navy, in the British Navy, and then he got recruited by MI6, and then they basically made him kill two designated targets. That's how you get your double O, and then he became 007, which means there's like before him there's six other double O's.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm like, God damn, y'all just fucked up. It's like, and they're like, well, we want to do a young hip James Bond. I'm like, do we really need young hip James Bond? I mean, is it not cool enough that you have a guy who's paid to murder the shit out of people who need to be killed, drives fast car, and sleeps with faster women? Like,
Yeah.
what do we really need? Oh, we need young hip James. No, we don't. Please stop. Anyway, that's my opinion. Uh, do you have anything else you want to add before we move on to the next topic?
No, I don't have anything else I want to add.
All right. Next topic is free topic. So, anything in the gaming or pop culture that you're like, you know what? People aren't talking about this. Why aren't people not talking about this?
Keep seeing rumblings about the PlayStation Switch idea, which would have been a great idea like 10 years ago when I still gave a shit about PlayStation, but now I don't really care. Like, the idea would have been cool if Sony was still on all cylinders, still rocking on all cylinders, but they're not. So I don't know what to tell people. Just doesn't sound This doesn't sound as appealing to me as it probably should be.
I mean, how can I put this? Sony sucks. I mean, I can't really. Sony sucks. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. How can I put this? I can't stress how much Sony is just trash these days. And you know what the problem with? You want to know why Sony is such a dumpster fire these days?
Why is that?
Sony as a gaming brand sucks because last gen when Microsoft came out with the Xbox One, um, they fucked up and all the Xbox fans jumped off of Xbox and started riding Sony's dick. And in doing so, they basically gave up any form of competition between these two companies. And like here's the thing, when you don't have competition in the free market, you get like the other companies get complacent. It's the reason why Nintendo is kind of trash these days because there's no competition. They have no incentive to do better.
Yeah.
Like, when you don't have any incentive to make better games, why should you care?
Yeah.
Sony, like Sony has had no incentive to make shit better with their console.
Yeah.
You know, like, cause cause Microsoft fucked up, and they did fuck up. I mean, you know, I remember we were in the cast watching them announce the Xbox, and like Don Matrick said that stupid ass shit. I was like, yeah, he's not gonna have a job next month. he was. I mean, truer words have never been spoken.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he's not gonna be with Microsoft next month. And a month later, his ass was gone.
Yeah.
So my ability. My ability to know when someone is fucked up, and believe me, homeboy, as soon as he said the shit, he knew he fucked up. Like Jeff Q is like, oh, so you're telling people if they don't like this, they need to stick with what they got at home. He's like, oh no, what I mean is, it's like, oh no, man, you can't
Wait.
rehabilitate this. You fucked up, son.
Yeah, it's too late.
Yes, it's too late. It's too late. I'm like, oh man, Don Matrick, you done fucked up, my guy.
You're done cooked. It's over for you.
You done fucked
Pick
up.
it up.
Now you done fucked up. right then, there. That's when you done had fucked up. I was like, God
Yeah.
damn, dude. Yeah, I mean, look, listen. I don't feel sorry for wealthy people. And Don Matrick is wealthy, fabulously wealthy. So I'm not like, oh my God, poor Don Matrick. But the thing is like, look, when you don't have good competition, this is what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately.
People get mad when you say that. Like, oh, well, my team. It's like, look, listen, you don't, unless you own stock in these companies, you should want every single company to have a strong portfolio and a decent run, a profitable one run with their consoles. The shit that we got, like, I mean, we're seeing this right now with Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, unfortunately.
when you don't have um when fundamental shit is fucked up and you don't have shit going out, that's why. This is why shit is falling apart. This is why shit is you know and you mention this to Nintendo fans, and they're like, well, it doesn't matter because as long as I have the Switch. It's like, yeah, but the problem is that if you don't have a strong ecosystem, you know a video game ecosystem is just like a real ecosystem. If you don't have apex predators, multiple different types of predators, and prey and all this type of shit falls apart.
Yeah.
And you mention that to people, they get mad. Like, don't say that. Don't talk about my company. It's like, yeah, but it's not your company. I mean, are they paying you money to say this? No.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at right now. Like, people are just way too fucking into the shit. They're just like way too into bullshit, if you will. But anyway, that's my opinion. Um, but do you have any other thoughts before we move on to the final topic, which is unpopular opinion?
Not entirely.
All right. Um. Okay then. Final little bit, unpopular opinion. This is where we basically give an unpopular opinion about gaming or, pop culture in general. And some people might get upset, but fuck them. I know that's rude of me to say fuck you to people who have an unpopular opinion, but it needs to be said.
Yeah.
So, you want to go first or shall I?
You can go first.
All right. My unpopular opinion is for Nintendo gamers. Y'all, I'm not talking people who happen to play on Nintendo consoles. I mean people who like everything Nintendo does. They're like, oh yeah, it must be correct. I'm like, but I mean, if some other company did this, y'all be the first people to be saying that ain't right. And yet Nintendo does
Yeah.
it, and they're like, it's okay. I'm like, why are you using special pleading because it's something that you like?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, come on, bruh. Like, I understand you really like this, but do you have to be as obvious as you are? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah, not all Nintendo gamers are like this. Some Nintendo gamers just want to play their games, etc., etc., etc. You know what I mean? But some of these motherfuckers, I mean, y'all are so into Nintendo to the point where it's like it's almost like, okay, like, I understand where you're coming from, but for real, dude, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it gets to be too much sometimes, is what I'm saying. It gets to be too much. It gets to be too fanboy, you know. Okay, like, we get it. You like the company, etc., etc. But there's other shit in this world to, like, other companies have been doing well too. Other companies have games that are worth playing. Like I'm more
Right, right,
excited for
yeah,
Sonic Cross Worlds than I was for Mario Kart World.
yeah, yeah. I could definitely agree with you on that.
Cause I'm like I haven't played much of Mario Kart World, but I'm like, I understand where you guys are coming from, but here's the thing. Here's my own personal opinion, okay? If you're going to if you're gonna fucking like like I play a lot of shit, okay? I have all of the major consoles right now. I have a PS5, I have an Xbox Series X, I have a Switch. I'm gonna try and get a Switch too.
Yeah.
So, maybe it'll be good. I don't know. But anyway, do you have any unpopular opinion you'd like to share? You're like, you know what? People haven't been talking about this shit and it needs to be talked about, damn it.
I just think I just think it's too late for there are a lot of complaints that people have about the Switch 2 that has existed on other platforms for the past few years, and it's just like you guys are super late to the party. That's for sure.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
fair. Okay. Um so that's the end of the cast. Um Thank you for joining us. We had a shorter cast this week. It was only about 40 minutes, but sometimes it's not the length of the experience, it's the quality. With that being said, that's the end of the cast. Anything you'd like to pimp out, sir? Your music, your channel?
Oh yeah, my music from Spotify now, so check it out when you get a chance.
All right. This is Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor of BS Busters. Thank you for joining us. I do have a game I'd like to pimp out. It's nothing that I've really, they showed this at I want to say the Indiegogo or PAX or something like that. Maybe Gamescom. Space Adventure Cobra: The Awakening, or maybe it was on a Nintendo Direct. I can't remember, but anyway, Space Adventure Cobra. I've been playing it. It's pretty goddamn good. It's pretty goddamn good. Imagine a Metroidvania. Like if you like 80s, late 70s, 80s anime, which I do. Cobra is set in that same type of universe as Harlock Saga, except Space Adventure Cobra. Imagine Lupin the Third in space with a main character who smokes
Yeah.
a cigar that doubles as a grenade, and etc. etc. You know what I mean? Um, and if you ever were like, man, like I like that early '80s anime aesthetic because it's based on a manga slash anime, set in the far future where this guy is a badass. He's a badass, a certified badass with basically he has a special weapon called his psycho gun on his left arm, like was replaced with the psycho gun. Basically, it's a gun where using his mental power, he can control where the bullets go, and his ultimate attack lets him shoot a burst that like hits everything in the room. So, yeah. It's Space Adventure Cobra, y'all. It's pretty badass. I like it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a Metroidvania where as you go through the game and through the levels, you you unlock more abilities, which enable you to go back to previous levels that had uh, progress gating. Like, oh, you want to get this collectible that'll power up your character. Well, you don't have that ability yet. So now that you have this ability, you can like crawl up the wall or break certain barriers or grapple, shit like that. So yeah, if you want to play a quality, decent quality, old school Metroidvania slash platformer, Space Adventure Cobra. It's made by
We live in an
Magic
extraordinary
Pockets,
era.
and it's
Yeah.
published by Microids. Microids, which you know, they make a lot of shovelware. I'm not gonna lie, but this game's actually pretty good. Um, it's fairly decent.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. That's all I got. That's the end of the cast. Rate, comment, share, subscribe, play your games, etc., etc. Peace.